Go ahead, Irene.
Our mission. Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non-dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background. Attendance today at this meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to learn about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone, and welcome, Mark. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, welcome, Mark. And let me just say a little bit about Mark. His bio is incredible, and I'll let you read the whole thing at evidenceofeternity.com. But Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, aka Psychic Explorer, is the author of the spiritual bestsellers Evidence of Eternity and Never Letting Go, which are both on our site. So if you'd like to take a look, please do. Mark Anthony's credentials and experience are unparalleled in the paranormal world. He is an Oxford-educated trial attorney licensed to practice law in Florida, Washington, D.C., and before the United States Supreme Court. In England, he studied mediumship at the prestigious Arthur Findlay College for the Advancement of Psychic Science. Dr. Gary Schwartz, professor of psychology, medicine, neurology, psychiatry, and surgery at the University of Arizona, and director of the Laboratory for Advances in Consciousness and Health, has ranked Mark as one of the top mediums in the United States. Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, is the media's go-to guy when the paranormal and legal system collide. He appears regularly on television as a legal analyst, psychic medium, and expert on the paranormal, after-death communication, and near-death experiences. There's so much more to talk about. He's also going to be talking about a new radio show that he has just started with Dr. Pat. But for more information about Mark Anthony, his books, tour schedule, personal readings, kindly visit his website, www.evidenceofeternity.com. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer.
Thank you, Elizabeth. It's such an honor to be here. And I also want to thank you, Irene, as well, and everybody connected to Helping Parents Heal, and of course, all of the parents. It's a great honor to be here. And I know everybody wants to get into the spirit communication section. I don't blame you. But this time of year is very difficult for everyone, and I don't have to tell you that. The holidays are a painful reminder of the people that we love who we've lost. And what can I say about 2020? Has this been the most difficult and bizarre year? We're facing the most unusual set of circumstances probably since the Great Depression. And to top off the year, we're having a very, very rare astrological phenomenon occurring on December 21st, which is the winter solstice. It will be a conjunction of the planets Jupiter and Saturn, and they're going to be the closest to each other since 1623. And that was when Galileo was actually making his observations with the telescope. So think about it. The last time we're going to see these two planets this close, Galileo was breathing. And think about this. A bright and mysterious star at Christmas time. Now that is fascinating. Now, my astrology friends, and on my new show, The Psychic and the Doc, we have a special Christmas show on actually on Christmas Eve, December 24th. We have a world-renowned astrologer, Kevin Casey, talking about how this is heralding in a positive change in the world. But the winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the shortest day of the year. And in a pre-electrical society, it terrified people because the days got short, winter was beginning, food supplies ran low, people starved to death, and they feared it. And all of the major belief systems have, at this time of the year, some form of a festival of light. And that's because the winter solstice has become a symbol of the balance between light and dark, the balance between understanding and enlightenment and fear and trepidation. And this winter solstice has taken on a great mystical significance. Around this time of year, the Hindus have Diwali, the festival of light. The Buddhists have Badi, which is a festival of light. Our Jewish brothers and sisters have Hanukkah. And Hanukkah is a very interesting, it's not a biblical holiday because it happened after the biblical era was over. In 166 BC, Syria was controlled by a Greek dynasty that was left over from Alexander the Great's conquest a couple centuries before that. And there was a tyrant who took the throne in Damascus, and he was Antiochus IV. And he decreed that the Jews could no longer worship their one God and that they must worship the Greek gods. And this was blasphemy for the Jewish people. And the great temple of Jerusalem, and all that's left of it today is the Wailing Wall. The Greek soldiers went in and tore it apart and erected a statue of Zeus. Well, the Jews rebelled. And to crush them, Antiochus IV sent an army of 60,000 men to suppress the rebellion. But the Jewish people fought back, and they only had 3,000 soldiers, and they inflicted a crushing defeat upon the Syrian Greek army of 60,000 men. Now that in and of itself is a miracle. How could 3,000 patriots destroy an army 20 times their size? But they did. And then when the Jews re-entered the temple, they re-sanctified it and they reconstructed the altar. And they had the menorah, okay, the gold candelabrum, but they only had enough oil for it to burn for one day, yet it burned for 8 days. And this is why Hanukkah is known as the festival of light and the miracle of the oil. And symbolically, look at it like this: the darkness of the tyrannical oppression of a ruthless despot was driven out by the light. Then the Roman tradition, the Romans too feared winter. And on the winter solstice of December 21st, they had the festival of Saturnalia. Well, leave it to the Romans. They like to party all the time. So their festival of Saturnalia was this big, drunken, crazy, overeating fest. And then a couple days later, on December 25th, was the festival of Sol Invictus, a celebration of the sun. And the Romans honored the sun because they feared that as the days grew shorter, if they didn't worship the sun, perhaps he would not return in the spring. And during the festivals of Saturnalia and Sol Invictus, the Greeks and Romans would give each other evergreens as gifts. Why? Because no matter how dark or cold it got, an evergreen was evergreen, always green. It became a symbol of life over death. Well, when the Roman Empire turned Christian in the year 350 AD, Pope Julius I decreed that December 25th, Sol Invictus, would now be the birth of Christ's celebration, which we know as Christmas. And the reason for that is because the belief that Jesus was the light of the world, and to help people overcome their fear of death and darkness. Now the darkest day of the year or time of the year will be celebrated by the light. But it didn't stop there. The evergreens continued. In fact, the holly wreath, which is one of the evergreens that were given as a gift, now took on a new symbolism. It was a circle. And the Greeks considered the circle the most perfect geometric pattern, and it symbolized eternity. It had no beginning, it had no end. The green symbolized eternal life, but the thorns, it symbolized now the crown of thorns, and the red berries of the holly wreath were the blood of Christ. So these symbols, these decorations that we put around our homes at this time of the year have very, very deep significance in the conflict or in the balance between light and dark. Think of the term shining light parent. This is a term for those of you who've lost a child to realize that the light of the soul, who and what we are, lives on in eternity. And so this time of the year, as the days in our northern hemisphere grow shorter and the darkness increases and your sadness and grief increases because of the painful reminder of the holidays, remember that not even death can kill love, nor can it stop the existence of the soul of your child. So in a few moments, we're going to open up to the spirit communication section. And what I'm going to do is when I open up my brain to higher frequencies, spirits are going to come forward. And I'm going to begin describing the spirit who's coming to me. Here's the thing. Spirits aren't here. They don't show up one at a time. It's not like, hi, I'm spirit number one. Okay, this is my name, rank, and serial number. And that's all. They come in groups. And in my work with spirits, and I write about this in my book, Evidence of Eternity, and also in the new book that I just finished writing, I call the other side the collective consciousness. Think of your soul as a drop of water. And when we die, that drop of water, your soul, your consciousness, the electromagnetic quantum field in your brain separates from the body and plunges into the eternal sea of consciousness. We maintain our identity and our individuality, and spirits will come forward. And what I've seen is there will be a common connection either between the spirits or between the people that they're communicating to. So when I'm describing a spirit, it may make sense to more than one of you. So please let, I guess, Elizabeth, you're the one that's facilitating it. Okay, please let Elizabeth know. And so we can get a couple spirits coming through that may have similarities. And with collective consciousness communication, we can go from one and then arc to the next one and then arc to the next one. And so when they come in, first I'll get the gender, then I'll get an idea of the relationship to you. Sometimes the person that you want to hear from the most may not be the one to come through. Other people you know may come through first. Then they're going to begin transmitting to me all types of information. I will see things, hear things, feel things, and know things. And so when I narrow it down to who is the recipient for this particular message or spirit, the questions I'll be asking will be, do you recognize this? Does that make sense? Be very careful if it doesn't immediately make sense to go to no. A lot of people fall into what I call the no, no, no syndrome, and they start shooting everything down. Well, what can happen, or what will happen, is after the reading, things are going to make more sense to you. It can take hours, days, weeks, even longer for the full impact of a reading to make sense. And one of my favorite stories about this, I was doing a session for these two sisters, and their mother's spirit came forward, and their mother began to talk to me about their other sister, who's alive and well, but she just wasn't in the reading. She lives on the Panhandle coast of Gulf of Mexico in Florida. And the mother spirit kept giving me the name Michael, and 10/11, 10/11, October 11. And I said, well, does Michael 10/11, October 11 make any sense? No. They said, Mark, of course, we all know somebody named Michael. Oh, we all do. I probably know 15, 20 Michaels. But they couldn't think of anything in their family that happened in October or October 11th. I said, so my motto is, if you don't get it, don't sweat it. All right. So just make a note of it. They contacted me 6 weeks later. And they said, Mark, 2 weeks after we did the reading with you, it was October 11th, 10/11. And on that day, Hurricane Michael hit our sister's hometown directly. And she went into labor a month early and gave birth to her baby girl. And I'm thinking, that poor girl. Okay. So of course we were thinking Michael was a person, not a hurricane. Secondly, why would anyone think of October 11th? I mean, we didn't know that that was when the little girl was going to be born until she was. So if you don't get it right away, don't sweat it. Also, your interpretation of something is more important than mine. So if I have one interpretation of something, but you have a different one, we always go with yours over mine. I was doing a reading for a guy, and his father's spirit kept giving me clams. So I'm thinking he liked eating clams, or maybe somebody was allergic to shellfish. He said, actually, Mark, when I was a little boy, Daddy'd take me to go clamming. And those are the happiest memories I have of my father. Perfect. What I think doesn't matter. It's how it relates to you. Also, don't overthink it or overanalyze it. The second it comes in, go with what hits you first. Okay. After the reading, feel free to analyze. When it comes to names, I may get something close to the name. It could be like Mitchell, Michael, Cindy, Sandy, Danny, Donnie. This happened about 2 weeks ago. I was doing a reading for a woman. Her husband's spirit came through. He gave me Horatio. I go, Horatio? She started laughing. She said his name was Hosea. Close enough. So if I'm getting Horatio and the name is Hosea, cut me some slack. Okay. My last example is numbers. Always tricky. Can be an age, date, time frame, address, or grouping, like the sisters with 10/11. Of course, they didn't know the little girl was going to be born on 10/11 until she was 2 weeks after the reading. So does anyone have any questions about spirit communication before we get started?
Can I just quickly let you know that everyone was so appreciative of the presentation that you did beforehand. I just want to say, Iris said, I love this, love to learn about all faiths. Kristen is saying, yes, this is so wonderful. Rosie is saying, this is amazing, so informative. Christine is saying, I love history, especially like this one. Thank you so much. And then Steve is saying, many are calling the conjunction of the conjunction, the Star of Bethlehem. Paula is saying, I want to be a shining light parent. I hope so too. I hope to. Lindsay's saying, love his knowledge and compassion. Carla's saying, Mark, truly amazing. Thank you for sharing such interesting knowledge. Paula's saying, thank you, Mark. Antoinette is saying, that was beautiful. Andrea is saying, this is so beautiful. Thank you for this. What a beautiful history lesson from Paula. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that everyone truly appreciated that. I appreciate the information about Shining Light Parents as well. And I want everyone to know before Mark gets started, that even if you don't get a reading this evening, the kids piggyback, and I know that Mark agrees with me on that, and
Yes.
you will be getting messages no matter what. And I feel so excited when I hear someone else getting a validation, because it just proves to me even more so that this afterlife, the connection that we have with our kids, really does exist. So and thirdly, I wanted to just let you know that unless you can take, what is it, maybe 3 of the things that you're giving us, Mark, you should probably not start marking in the chat box. Is that correct?
Well, I don't look at the chat room. It's just,
No,
I try to,
I'll be looking
oh,
for everybody. I'll be looking
okay.
for people, but I don't want to bring someone on unless they can take a certain number of the
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Usually if there's 3 facts, like, first off, what you said about, even if you don't get a reading, if what comes through tonight touches your heartstrings, take it, accept it, because that's part of, and thank you for reminding me, Elizabeth, that's a big part of collective consciousness communication, because spirit communication is not individualized. It's not one spirit for one person. Think of them as a chorus. And so let's say your son comes through and he is now the lead singer for the chorus. And so the information that he's giving me, perhaps it'll resonate with Elizabeth, but it may also hit direct impact to 6 other people. And if it does, take it, because that's how collective consciousness communication works. And we see this in frequency transfer. For example, let's say the Pentagon sends an encoded message to Fort Hood, and there's the main radio signal, yet piggybacked on top of that are 5 other encrypted messages. Well, that's very typical of frequency transfer. And when we're dealing with spirits, that's what we're doing. It's frequency transfer. So even though I may be communicating with one spirit and giving the messages to a particular recipient, if what comes through applies to more than one person, take it. Okay. Also, some people are so anxious to get a reading, everything will fit for them. I was doing a session, and Rocky, my manager, she's in here, she can attest this. And I said, okay, I'm getting, it feels like a 6-year-old girl and it feels like she died from a heart attack. And this lady jumps up in the audience and says, my father died of a heart attack. And it's like, well, was your father a 6-year-old girl? I mean, it's like you've got to have an element of practicality in here. And I don't mean to be facetious, but there's some people like, me. If it's for you, you'll know it. Don't try to force it. And here's why. When I was talking about the no syndrome, where people shoot everything down, there's different aspects of that. Wanting something too much. That's why a lot of people in a profound state of grief, they say, why don't they come to me? I want them to come to me. Well, of course you do. And that's perfectly normal and natural. But without intending to, the massive pain and negative feelings of grief, you unintentionally are creating a barrier. So instead of saying, I want them to come through, change the focus to, I invite you to come to me. I welcome you into my dreams. Do you see how you change the energy? And so people who are like, yes, everything is for me, you're putting out that same type of angst. It's also the same with people who overanalyze everything. If I say, well, he had light brown hair. No, he had sandy blonde hair. Okay. When you start doing that, that also creates a negative energy barrier. I like to say it's like Star Trek and Star Wars, where they raise the deflector shields with that angst and no. Well, let's lower the deflector shields. So anyway, all right. So I'm ready. And what I like to do, hold on. Sorry, my COVID haircut, I got so much product in it. It's probably, I look like Michael Jackson back in the off the wall days.
No, not at all.
I know we all have the COVID, all my friends in LA, they all have the long hair. I go, is that the style? They're like, no, we can't get a haircut. But anyway, I always like to start with a prayer. And I like the prayer of St. Francis, because I believe that to be an interfaith prayer. And then we get started. Oh God, make us an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. And where there's sadness, joy. O divine God, grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we're pardoned, and it is in dying that we're born to eternal life. Amen. All right, I'm picking up on a female energy coming through. She feels like she's around 16 years old. And what I'm getting with her, I keep getting a choking sensation. And this is really, really, wow. I mean, really, I feel like I'm choking, and because I'm feeling the blood pressure going into my head. Oh my goodness. All right. And I'm feeling intense depression. This very well could be a death by suicide. This does feel like a hanging. I don't want to immediately jump to that conclusion just yet. It's almost like if you're eating something and choking on a chicken bone, and I'm not being funny by any stretch when I'm saying that, but I'm getting this choking obstruction sensation. But prior to this, I do get, which is certainly very, very true for people who die from suicide, a massive sense of depression. And what I'm getting with this young lady is I feel bipolar disorder. I feel that it was being treated, but the treatments were not working properly, or she was resistant to the medication. And she really did try, but the depression with her, it was like a tidal wave that just overcame her. Does this make sense to anybody?
Yes, we have several people who it makes sense to. We have Christine, her daughter Hannah, as well as Patty, whose daughter
Okay,
also.
hold on, be careful. Oh, sorry, Liz, don't mean to interrupt. Careful about giving me their names, the names of the spirits. Okay, all right, so we have a number of people. Let me keep working with this spirit, and sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Saturday. Okay, obviously the day Saturday is very significant, and I believe this may have been when her life ended, would have been on a Saturday, and it feels like in the twilight hours. So this feels like this could have been, right before sunset, is what I'm getting. Does this make any sense to anybody?
Yes, we do have a mom whose daughter passed by hanging on Saturday.
Okay, all right. You can give me the mom's first name, just not the
Patty.
spirit. All right.
Her name is Patty. She
Hi,
suffered for
Patty.
years. Yes.
Okay.
Can I unmute her? Is that
Oh yeah,
okay?
yes, please. Yeah. So I'd like to be able to interact with her. That helps. Yes.
Okay, I'm asking you to unmute. There we go. And I'm pinning your video now, Patty. Just one second. There we go.
Hi, Patty.
Hi.
Okay. So what I'm getting from her, first off, she loves you very much. Secondly, she said that you keep running through your mind that you had words with her. You had words with her that led her to this. And she said nothing could be farther from the truth. She said that you and she always had discussions, and sometimes the discussions would get heated. But I get the sense that she was wise beyond her years, very mature, very intelligent, and that the discussions that the two of you had weren't so much arguments. They seemed more like intelligent debates. Does that make any sense to you?
Very much so.
Okay. So yeah, so she wants you to know, she said that that my mom wants to blame herself, and she said, but you can't, Mom, you can't. Okay. And is there someone
Okay,
connected?
sweetheart.
Yeah, is there someone connected to you or her with a name like Blanche? It could be a female B name, but I keep getting Blanche. So just put that off to the side. Don't worry about, and for all you know, tomorrow you may be, go to the store and the person waiting on you's name is Blanche. I mean, stuff like that happens. Okay. But she said that it's very, very important for you, Patty. Did you ever call you like Mumsy? I get this, like, it wasn't just mom or mommy, but it was like Mumsy, like she was like goofing around. It's funny. She had some kind of variation on the name Mom for you. Does that make any sense?
Occasionally, she'd mommy, mom, that old Family Guy, I think it was, or
It's okay. I know what the Family Guy is. I've never seen even one episode. So here's the thing. If that makes sense to you, perfect, because your interpretation is more important than mine. So that makes sense. And I'm smiling because now she's throwing me a football. What's up with the football? Love, hate football? Or is there someone close to you or her that's like a big football fan?
I am.
Oh, you are. Okay,
I'm a
now,
football fan.
all right, then let me explain why that's so important. When spirits give me a message of an explanatory or advisory nature, and the message is that her passing was not due to anything you said or anything that you did, and so therefore you must not blame yourself. And then she followed it up with the mumsy, whatever it is from Family Guy. But then when the spirit follows the advisory and explanatory message with an objectively verifiable fact, football, you're the football fan. That football verifiable fact is how the spirit is letting you and I know that we have properly received and interpreted the message. And that's how they work with me, because they know I want confirmation. So the reason that she stepped forward, she like pushed her way, made a beeline, because
That is her.
yes, and she is here to take her gift to you is to alleviate that pain and suffering of guilt from you. And I will leave that message with you.
Thank you. And thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. Okay. Another spirit's coming through now. This is a male. Hold out is there, look, I know the name Timmy probably resonates with a lot of people, but I keep hearing Timmy. Does Timmy make sense with anyone?
So far not, but let's see.
All right, hold on. Timmy may not be the spirit. That could be one of the recipients or someone close to you. And what is really fascinating, and I'm feeling gunshot wound to the head. So what we're getting initially is a group of spirits who died from suicide. So the other young ladies who passed from hanging, they haven't gone away. They're all part of this collective. I'm getting a young male, and I'm feeling a gunshot wound to the head. The actual gun, it looks like a smaller, it looks like a 38 caliber snub nose, what they would call a Saturday night special. That's what this feels like. And what I'm getting with him is prior to passing, the reason I'm getting all tense, he's not like that now. He's explaining what he was going through prior to his physical passing. I feel like I am like if I drank 20 cups of espresso. So I don't know if maybe he was under the influence of some form of stimulant, or this could have been a psychological condition where he was just like really filled with angst. Okay.
Could
Go ahead.
I interject?
Sure.
Oh, we have someone who is saying that it could be Teddy, a brother. It's a 28-year-old 9mm gunshot wound to the head. Does that sound like Teddy?
Timmy and Teddy, yes. This is like Horatio Hosea, if I'm pretty close. And if that works, okay. And Leo Virgo. So this must be, all right, let's put the person, that recipient up on the screen if we could, please.
That's Theresa. So I am looking for Theresa right now. And so is Irene. Here we go. Theresa.
Hey, Theresa, do you ever go by Terry?
To unmute. Let's see. Can you unmute, Theresa?
Yes.
There you go.
Hey, Theresa, how you doing?
Hey,
Theresa, do you ever go by Terry?
no.
Okay. All right, but he would go by Teddy?
Yes.
Okay. He keeps giving me Leo Virgo. Now, the funny thing is, I'm not an astrology guy, but spirits give me astrological timeframes. Now,
My mom's a Leo.
your mom's a Leo. Okay. Is she more toward the end of August, closer to the Virgo timeframe? That would be right around, let's say, he is bringing up an event between, let's say, August 20th and September 1st, something in that time frame I'm getting. So I'm getting Leo, Virgo. That would be like right on the cusp there. Does that make any sense to you in any way? Not just with him, but with you?
Yes.
You're nodding yes. In what way? Yes.
My ex-husband
Okay. Is he
Virgo.
here?
My ex-husband's alive. My mother is not.
Okay. All right. So Teddy, let's talk to him for a minute. was he, how can I say this diplomatically? Was he not exactly a stranger to controlled substances?
Exactly.
Okay. Did he kind of go more towards the stimulant, like a crystal meth, coke, something like that?
Yes.
Okay. I used to be a criminal defense attorney, so not my first rodeo communicating with the spirit like that had this. And wow, he was also no stranger to colorful metaphors and adjectives, many of which started with the letter F, which I will not repeat. But he said, I sure drove everybody crazy. And he's laughing about it. He said, sorry. Okay. And your mother, I believe, is stepping in. And what I'm getting from the female energy that's stepping in, that's connected to you on the mother generational level, I feel like there's this massive pain inside of my head. This could be a stroke. This could be an aneurysm, but I'm getting like a flash of light inside of my head, which would indicate like an aneurysm, stroke, some type of disturbance going on inside of her brain. I'm also getting the feeling that prior to passing, she was having difficulty with mental focus and clarity. Does this make any sense?
Yes.
Did she have like dementia or Alzheimer's prior to passing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So she's over there with your brother and they're delighted that you're doing this. Okay. Your mother was not exactly a big fan of your ex-husband.
No.
She said that she's so glad you came to your senses. And did he, I don't want to get too personal. Did he physically abuse you?
Some.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Here's because your mother said, I'm glad you finally realized that you have self-worth, self-value, and will never allow yourself to be anyone's punching bag again. Okay. And so your mother is extremely happy that you've come to this realization in your life. Did you lose a son?
Yes.
Because I'm getting Teddy and your mom, it's like they are pulling this younger male energy coming through, and wow, there's just something so intellectually and emotionally beautiful about this spirit. It's like he's one of these people that when he looked at the world, he saw color where other people just saw things. It's what's that old saying about seeing the world through rose-colored glasses? It appears that your son had this beautiful sense of optimism and seeing beauty. He was also very sensitive, very compassionate. Did people kind of think he was rather quirky and a little bit eccentric?
Yes.
Excuse me. And it's not because there was anything wrong with him. I have a feeling that he had such a high IQ. A lot of people thought he was weird because they couldn't relate to him or understand him. Okay. He said, but mom always did. Okay. So I'll tell you something, Theresa, you were always in his corner. And I'm smiling because I'm feeling the immense joy that he is transmitting through me when he thinks and focuses on you. He said, you always made him feel special, and you were the only one who really understood him. And with his passing, I feel this abrupt shockwave through my body. And it's like when I feel this impact sensation, this could indicate an abrupt, unexpected passing, but I get this accidental. I don't get an intentional feel to this. He said, this was an accident. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, in what way?
Because we don't know.
Well, he said it was an accident. And I get this. Was there like a falling involved? Falling?
I think.
I'm sorry?
I think.
Yeah.
I believe there was.
Yeah, I feel like I'm falling, and was his head injured? Was there impact to his head?
I don't think so. but I don't know. He was in a hotel.
It was in a hotel? Okay. Well, I get this falling sensation, and I get that all of a sudden he went into, it feels like anaphylactic shock. I'm not
He
saying
was
that
down
it
on the
was
floor.
Yeah. Okay. The impact sensation, the sense that the different causes of death may have a similar physical sensation. And I'm not saying that he died from anaphylactic shock, but it feels to me when I connect with spirits who died from anaphylaxis, it feels very similar to that. So this was some type of either seizure or stroke, some type of neurological disorder, which I get this, like, it just hit him and that was that. And he said it was an accident. It was an accident. It was an accident. Did he have low blood sugar? Was he hypoglycemic?
He was diabetic.
He was, okay, diabetic. Diabetes is hyperglycemia. Low blood sugar is hypoglycemia. They sometimes read very similar. And therein lies the accident. I'm getting the sense from him, the reason I asked you is hypoglycemics and diabetics, if they skip a meal, or if they're like fasting or not eating, it affects them the same way. The dizzy, disorientation, and in his case, that is what took his life. And he did not intend to do this. He said it was completely an accident. And so that's what he wants you to know. And he keeps showing me the image of a seahorse. A seahorse. Okay. Now, a seahorse, usually when I get an image of a seahorse, unless he liked actual horses, this could indicate, like where I live in Florida, there's all these mom and pop hotels, little motels and things along the ocean. They all have seahorses and sand dollars. This could indicate something right near the coast or the water that was important to him or connected to his passing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In what way?
His grandmother that he lived with in the church that he worked at for a long time is on the beach. Is in South Carolina on the beach.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, his grandma, is that your mom is on the other side?
No,
Oh.
no,
Is that grandma on the other side?
no.
Okay. Is it your mom, the one that liked playing bingo?
No.
Who's the one that liked playing bingo?
His grandfather,
Oh, okay.
who is on the other side.
Okay. Because someone just goes, bingo. Okay, so boy, let me tell you, Theresa, I could spend all night with you, but here's the thing. Your son's there with your brother, with your mother, and with his grandfather who liked playing bingo. And also, I think the bingo is the verifiable fact following the message for him to explain to you. So see, when I talk about collective consciousness communication, do you see for everybody how many spirits came through for Theresa? We have her brother, her mother, her son, and the grandfather. What's his relationship to you? Is that your
The
dad?
grandfather is, no, that's his other.
That's his father's father? Okay.
Yeah.
So your collective in this is 4 spirits communicating to you. They all want to let you know that they're fine, but they're all here on your son's behalf to let you know and reassure you about what happened with his cause of death and how it was tied into his blood sugar, and he wasn't paying attention, and he skipped actually like 3 too many meals. So I'll leave that with you. I'm very sorry. And to everybody, I'm very sorry for your losses.
Thank you.
God bless. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm getting a very young child coming through, a baby. Okay. Looks like a little girl. And she was in this world probably not more than a year old. And I'm getting this fluid buildup in her chest. This could be pneumonia, but this could be some other issue with her breathing. Does this make sense to anybody else?
It does to me, but I'm sure it's not me. But I don't see anybody else taking it. So
Well, I know, no, Elizabeth, I know that you're the host and that you don't want to take it for you, but I'm not a bouncer. So when a spirit comes through, I have to let them in. Okay. Hold
Wait,
on.
wait, there's Valentina says, my daughter passed at the age of 10 days. She had a 2-chamber heart. Nicole is saying me, but not 1 year old. Let's see. So
Yeah, because I'm seeing like a little tiny baby, but she did not die in utero. She did come full term. Let me see if I can get some more. April, 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 April. So there's a birth, death, anniversary, or event connected to the spirit or to the recipient or someone close to the recipient within the month of April. A birth, death, anniversary, or event. Does that make sense?
my birthday is in April.
Okay,
And,
all right. I'll give you this message because your little girl's coming through for you. Okay.
but I don't actually talk about my daughter very much, but it was
That's
because
okay.
it filled up
Elizabeth,
in her lungs. So
Elizabeth,
yes,
deep breath, relax. You're the recipient, not the facilitator now. She is very excited of all the work that you do, and she is over there with your son and with about 6 other people connected to you. And she said that it's time that you put up a giraffe, a picture of a giraffe. What's with you and giraffes?
that's for her. That's for her sister, actually, who
Okay.
who calls herself a giraffe. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but that's very interesting.
Okay, so mom, tell your other daughter that her sister on the other side says put up a giraffe. Okay, so basically she popped in to say hello. So I'll I'll leave that with you. Okay. Um, all right, the young ladies that came through before that died from suicide. There's one coming in. And I know that the number of a group of the young ladies who communicated before were talking about hanging, but this one's different. This one, this feels like a drug overdose. And the reason that I say that is because I feel like the room's spinning around and I feel difficulty with mental focus and clarity. I'm also getting, she keeps talking about her hair. And it feels to me that she may have had like a shorter haircut. To me, it kind of like, we used to call it like punk rock. I don't even know if they still call shorter haircuts like that, sort of a punk haircut. But I'm getting a drug overdose. And hold on. This is another spirit who said that this was an accident. This was not intentional. Okay, so let me see if I can get some more facts to narrow this down. This one's talking about Tuesday. So there could be something connected with her passing Tuesday. Does this make any sense to anyone?
Have someone, Zelda is saying that it might be her. Her daughter shaved her head. I'm not sure of Tuesday. You can take that, Zelda. Can you?
Yeah, go ahead and put Zelda on. Zelda, Tuesday may not be connected with her death. There could be like a specific Tuesday that would make sense to you in any way. And also maybe some significant things coming up for you next Tuesday. So, but if your daughter shaved her head, and did she pass from, oh, wait a second. I see someone that said my daughter, who passed on Tuesday.
Yes, my daughter, Diana, is saying my daughter last drug took her out. Tuesday was the funeral.
Oh, okay. Let me keep working here.
Okay. I'm having trouble finding Zelda in any case, but I'll let you go ahead and
Yeah,
keep,
go ahead and put the lady up whose daughter's funeral was on Tuesday, because
Okay.
when a spirit gives me something like that and it resonates immediately.
Diana, let's see if I can find you. Could you put your hand up, Diana, as I'm going through so that I can see you and that Irene can see you as well, if possible, so that we can ask you to unmute. Let's see. Sorry, everybody. There's a lot of screens today. I see Zelda now, which is wonderful. Let's see. I'm just looking to see. Irene, are you seeing?
I'm looking, Elizabeth. I don't see.
I know, Diana.
I don't see Diana.
Okay, put your hand up, Diana. I know you're on these meetings a lot and I just can't see your face, which
I
is,
see her.
oh,
There we
good.
go.
Okay, we got her
Okay.
unmuted.
I asked you to unmute. There
I
you are.
see her too. I just saw her at the same time, same
All right.
screen.
I'm unmuted, I think. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm sorry. What's your first name?
Diana,
Hi, Diana. Okay, and so did your daughter have real short hair?
yeah, punk
Okay.
rocker. It was horrible.
Okay, hold on. So first off, I'm very sorry. When I say hold on, please, I never mean
I
to
know, I
be.
get it. I'm
Yeah,
good.
what it is, I want the spirits to give me the information and then
Okay.
you can validate. Okay, all right, hold on. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
I mean, she's just like, was she a smoker?
No.
Interesting, because she keeps going like this.
Oh, no, we tried to get her to smoke pot.
Ah, well, she's smoking something. All right, so that's a yes.
Oh, her
Okay.
cousins, all of us tried to get her to smoke pot because it wouldn't work.
Okay. And was her passing from like a drug interaction, drug overdose?
Well, the drugs are what took her.
The drugs are what took her life. Okay. So was this cancer?
Yes.
Okay. Was it in her uterine cervix
It
area?
was all over. It started
Okay.
with the bones, but it was all
Here's
over.
what's going on. I'm feeling issues in what would be her reproductive areas and the lower GI tract. And I'm also getting that, I'm sorry, the smoking thing just threw me. She's cracking me
Yeah,
up.
that's a joke
And-
with the family that everybody tried to get her high and they all ended up high, trying to get her high, and it didn't work. And then we videotaped everyone else getting high,
Okay.
not her.
That'll work. Okay. Now, yes, we know that she passed from complications and related to cancer, but she's holding up a blue crab. Okay. And that's also the cancer astrological time frame, which would be between June 20th and July 20th. Are there any significant births, deaths,
Yes.
anniversaries, events
Yes.
connected? In what way?
Her father and her cousins and her brother, all who tried to get her high, are cancers.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got the cancer astrological trifecta here.
And the dream that I had right before she passed was the symbol of cancer going to God. And we talked
Beautiful.
about it. Yeah,
So we're getting a lot of validations here.
well,
And so by her coming through and giving the cancer symbol for the astrological time frame, which relates to the three people connected to you and her that were cancers who tried to get her to use the medicinal marijuana. And then you had a dream prior to her passing where she went to God. And
with
you
the
said
cancer, the crab, the cancer.
with the right, the symbol of cancer. This is a validation that that was indeed a not so much of a dream as a contact experience. Even though that was before she passed, those are other spirits working with you. So wow, you're getting a lot of very powerful validations here. And hold on, she really put up a good fight.
Yep.
She fought this thing so hard. She said that when she died, she was like in the light, like she went out of her body immediately into the light. And the first thing she said was, "But I'm not done fighting yet." Okay. And it's amazing.
Oh, she had the attitude the entire time until she stopped, and she kept, when she couldn't speak anymore, her hand was still fighting me.
Hold on. She keeps giving me the number 14, 14, 14, 14. Now, this could be the 14th of any month, but it could be the number 1, it could be the number 4, it could be the number 14, or the number 41. So it could be the 1st of any month, the 4th of any month, the 14th of any month, or it could also be the number 41. But there's something about 14. Does that make any sense to you?
The 4th is my birthday. I don't
Okay,
know.
there's 1.
And
Okay.
numerology, we're both 4s, her and I. So I don't know. 14, I'm not.
Okay. Well, it could also be January 4th, April 1st. You know, it could be a lot. Numbers are always tricky. So let's write down 14, but there's part of that is making sense. Now she's pulling me into the Scorpio time frame. Okay, Scorpio. That is roughly October 20 to November 20. Any births, deaths, anniversaries, or events connected to you or her or someone close to you within the Scorpio timeframe, or is there something about the symbol of a scorpion which may make sense?
I don't know yet. I don't know
You
yet.
know, that's okay. If you don't get it, don't sweat it. Okay, I'd rather you just write it down, because she is showing me the Scorpio time frame, and she's talking about the Scorpio time frame that we just came out of, because now we're in Sagittarius. And she said that you had a very mystical significance this last Scorpio time frame, that was some type of big revelation for you spiritually. Does that make any sense?
Yes, I had a dream with Mary and her coming to show me where I agreed to this movement.
Well, I'm going to go with a yes on that one. Okay, because she's giving me that. And then, so you get a lot of contact experiences in the sleep state, and she's
Oh, yeah.
indicating that you will continue to do so. All right. Are you doing some type of, and I know we were talking earlier about the 12/21, the winter solstice, but I'm laughing because she says, oh, my mom's totally going to do this. She sees you sitting with a whole bunch of candles, like in some type of circle on 12/21, doing this whole candle thing. What's going on that?
A constellation kind of healing with a few people. I moved to a new town and they're doing it, but my old a research team at Columbia University, we're getting together that were part of her healing movements. We're doing, I don't know what they're doing. I'm just going to go for it and go in.
Okay, well, don't be surprised if there is a circle of candles, and they're doing this whole thing with candles on the 12/21. And you know what? She wants you to do this. She said it's going to be very healing for you, very cathartic for you. And now she's showing me France. I'm seeing the Eiffel Tower. I'm seeing Normandy. I'm seeing France. What's up with France or the French language?
People used to send pictures as jokes from France of girls who looked like her. So
Okay.
we're going to go to France and find all her sisters from another mother and father or something like that. France is a joke.
I'll take that one. Okay.
France is a joke.
Yeah. So, and you indicated her name was Mary, right? So,
No, Natalie. Mary is who came, Mother Mary.
Mother Mary. Okay. Yeah. Now, see, that means, see, Paris and Mother Mary mean a lot to me, because I spent a lot of time in Notre Dame Cathedral sometime back when I was in France before the fire. And because it's dedicated to Mary, the mother of Jesus. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, she said you look at Mary as an avatar, the feminine face of God, the guide who is always with you. Very, very powerful, very healing energy for you. And she says, and you should.
She parted on Mary, the Immaculate Conception of Mary. We just had her mass, so yeah.
On December 8th?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, she dropped her body. I'm changing my words. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hold on. Let's see what she has for you. What's with all the pumpkin pie? I'm tasting all this pumpkin pie, which I like, so I got to be careful for,
I don't know. I mean, I really don't.
Do you love it, hate it? Hold on. Love it, hate it, makes sense to you in any way?
I'm the only one that likes pumpkin pie in my family on both sides, so.
That's a yes. Okay. That is remember the verifiable fact following the message. You are the only one in your family that likes pumpkin pie. And what are the messages before that? That Mary is a feminine energy, a guide for you. That you are the main form of contact that you have between this side and the other side is in the dream state, and that it will continue, and that this gathering that you're going through to on 12/21 will be very cathartic and very healing for you. So that's what I'm going to leave with you. Thank you so much. I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Hold on. I'm getting a male energy coming through. Now he's darker complected. So it could be African-American, or he could be just with real dark complexion, what I'm getting. with him, and I'm getting massive impact to my head. Now, massive impact to my head can indicate head trauma, stroke, aneurysm, or a quick, unexpected, abrupt passing. Does this make sense to anyone? And I'm trying to get a fix on his age. Could be late teens, early 20s. Yeah, I know. I saw someone say could be Caucasian, but no, this young man, very, very dark complected. Now, unless he was like maybe Italian or Greek or Latinos, just real dark complexion. But to me, he looks like he's African American. Does this make sense to anybody?
Goodness gracious. Carol is saying dark skinned. Monica's saying my son is Romanian. Let's see. We also have someone who is saying that their son is Asian. Let's see. That doesn't.
Hold on. Let me work a little bit more with the spirit, see if I can get some more facts. Okay. When I was talking about the impact of the head, this feels like, it doesn't feel like a trauma. This feels like there may have been some type of surgical procedure, because I'm seeing like the inside of his brain. It feels like they meaning medical personnel were doing something inside of his head. Does this make sense?
Well, Rose is saying her son's had a brain tumor, aneurysm as a result. Italian.
Okay. Did he have like an olive complexion and kind of hair like mine, sort of more curly?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right.
Her son, yes.
Was he in that age range, like late teens, early 20s?
A little bit older, I believe. Let's see, Rose. When? Let's see. I don't know. Mark Ireland is saying.
Let me go with the woman whose son had the brain tumor. Let's go with that one. Let's go ahead and put her up.
Okay.
Because you got to realize, first off, always doing a gallery group event is interesting, because we got a whole lot of spirits here. And now in the COVID era, we're doing these on Zoom, which adds another dimension to all of this.
Okay. I will put her up, but I just want to say that you've already read for Rose. She got a reading from you one of the last times.
All right, then maybe we can go to somebody else then.
There's
okay.
I absolutely love Rose, but let's see. Garika is saying that her son had an olive complexion brain tumor and he was that age. Garika is from the East Coast and originally from India.
Okay, let's go there then.
Okay, so Garika, let's see if we can find you. And I certainly don't want to ignore you, Rose. And I think it's wonderful if your son's coming through as well. But I think it might be, let's see, for Garika. I'm just looking here.
I asked her to unmute.
Oh, got her? Okay,
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find her to pin her. Here we go.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi there. It's good to see you. So here we go. Okay.
Okay. All right. Garika, how you doing? Go ahead and say something so I can see on speaker view.
Hi, Mark.
Okay. Hi. Okay. And your son was in that age range, and you said he had brain tumor. Did he have real thick hair?
Yes.
Okay.
Initially, curly, thick. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. When this condition came on, was he noticing some weird sensation in his fingers or hands? Because he's talking about like tremors and numbness in his fingertips. Does that make any sense to you?
Not initially, but at some point he had that. Yeah.
Okay, that'll be yes. And
Yeah.
I'm just instructing, I'm not criticizing. Don't hyperanalyze. See, I'm getting this initial feeling, but if that's something that developed, go with that. Okay. Was he an unusual blood type, like on the rare side? Because he's talking about his blood type and difficulty either with transfusions or with his blood type.
No.
Okay.
No,
Wow, he keeps talking about his blood type. Really? Yeah.
No.
What about you? Is there anything unusual about your blood type? Because sometimes they talk about the people that I'm doing the reading for.
Yeah, my husband's an O, I think positive, like a universal donor, but not
No, that's
not the
so that's
rest
so
of us.
negative, and the O's are not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
there's like an RH negative, something like that he's talking
Right.
about. I don't think this is for you.
No.
No, and I, as much as I want it to be, it's just
That's
not
okay.
resonating. So I'm just going to let it go. Instead of struggling and straining, I'm going to
No
let
problem.
this go. Okay.
Okay.
And hey,
Yeah.
if your son comes around, we'll do it. But yeah, because okay. So thank you. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
So Jessalyn is saying that her son transitioned from osteosarcoma that spread to his brain. He had a rare blood type, but I'm wondering, Jessalyn, could you just let us know by any chance if he is dark-skinned, dark-haired, and I don't see any answer yet from Jessalyn. Oh, dark-haired. He had a rare blood type, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go with that. If I'm getting the whole rare blood type thing, that's one of those determinative factors.
Okay, so Jessalyn, let's see. I know that Irene is also looking for you, and some of you don't have your pictures on, which is okay, but I'm just trying to locate you, and if you could just wave to us, that would make everything just a little bit easier if that's possible. There we go. I got you. Okay, first, I'm asking you to unmute. Can you, sorry. There you go. You're unmuted. And now I'm going to go ahead and pin your video. There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Okay, all right, Jessalyn. So your son, he had brain tumor and he had a rare blood type?
Yes.
Okay. And I want to get back to, was he getting tremors or like a weird sensation in his fingers and hands throughout this? Okay.
Yes,
All right. Was he real funny?
Yes.
Great sense of humor? Because I mean, he's stepping right in. He's like, yeah, let's get over. He doesn't want to talk about his illness and how he died anymore. And he's coming up like he's wearing a jacket like this, and he's pulling out a red rose and handing it to you. And he goes, "That'll be $5, lady." So I don't mean to laugh, but that's what he just did. So I get that he used to like to joke around a lot, and he always tried to cheer you up with his sense of humor. And he said that the hardest part of his illness was watching the devastating effect that it had on you. And he said that, I could take it, but I didn't want my mom to have to be going through this. And he's holding up his hand right now, and there's an oyster, and the oyster's opening, and this beautiful pearl is emerging. Okay, now this could mean something about shellfish, love it, hate it, allergic to it, but I'm focusing on the pearl. And of course, most ladies I know have something with pearls in it, but this could be a specific piece of jewelry of significance that you would recognize with a pearl in it. And pearls are also the birthstone for the month of June, which could indicate significant births, deaths, anniversaries, or events connected to him or you or someone close to you within the month of June. Does any of that make sense to you?
My mom's birthday is June.
Your mom's birthday is June?
Yes.
Is she in this world?
Yes.
Okay. Were they real close? Because I get the sense that she misses him terribly.
Not much. Not much.
I think that she misses him more than you might think. You see, I think based on what he's telling me that she doesn't talk about it. This is what he's telling me because she doesn't want to upset you. Okay. So he said, the next time you see her, give her a big hug from me. All right. The other thing that he's telling me, he's focusing on your health and well-being right now. And I'm tasting a lot of sodium. What's going on with your blood pressure?
It's not good. I have a chronic pain. And I'm not doing good.
Oh, I'm
But he
sorry,
just
I can't understand.
good.
I
My
can't
health
hear
is
you.
my health is not good. I have a chronic pain.
Okay, so you have blood pressure issues, so he's focusing on that. You need to, he wants you to spend more time focusing on your blood pressure. I'm tasting a lot of sodium. That's salt. Salt is my indicator for blood pressure. But that can also mean that you're going to need to start cutting back on your salt intake. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
You got to realize when spirits come through, certainly they love you, and one of their gifts is healing. And that's why he's here, because he doesn't want you to be sick. He doesn't want you to get a stroke or a heart attack, which is why he's bringing that up. He's also telling me that it's like you don't feel like walking anymore, like you don't want to walk. Does that make sense? So what do you think he's
Yeah.
telling you that you need to start doing every day?
Yeah. To get up. That's what he's been telling me even before too.
I'm sorry? The problem is you
wants
must have a
me-
bad connection because you're
he
real
wants me to
muffled.
move-
And yeah.
Sorry. I think he wants me to move forward because that's Alan. He's been telling me to move forward for a long time.
Exactly. Because here's what he's telling you is that first off, you got to get your sodium, your blood pressure under control. You got to start walking more. Also, the walking is going to help you in your grief because it's going to get you out. It's going to get things moving around. You're going to get some exercise. Okay. He's also telling me that you're not sleeping well at all. It's like you sleep in like maybe an hour at a time, if that, then you wake up and then you're up. He says at night, like you wander around. And he said that this is going to go on for a while. He says eventually it will pass, but you've got to start taking better care of yourself. What he's telling me is that you're so devastated from his loss, which is absolutely understandable. Okay. But that's why he's coming through and trying to cheer you up, and he's making jokes and all types of comments like this. But he said that please forgive me, he's also very blunt. He said, in a way, she wants to die, and she's trying to do it by neglecting herself. And Mom, he goes, you can't do this. You can't do this. Even though you don't feel like living, you have to. You have to push forward. He said, and you will. He said, because he said, where do you think I learned to fight so hard? That was from you. So that's what he wants you to know. Hey, he's just showed me a big birthday cake. Who's got a birthday coming up like in the next couple of weeks? It could be maybe like a week or two ago or a week or two from now, but I'm getting this whole birthday.
I can't remember. One of my uncle in spirit is coming up.
I'm sorry?
One of my uncle in spirit, his birthday is coming up, but he doesn't know him.
Okay. What everybody needs to understand when you say he doesn't know him, he is an immortal living being who is patched into the collective consciousness, and your uncle's on the other side. Hello. What do you think he's telling you? Who's he with? Okay. See, people need to understand, and I'm instructing, not criticizing. People say, well, he didn't know that. He didn't know them. Maybe not here in the material world, but on the other side, spirits are not invisible humans with our limitations. They are pure electromagnetic energy, and they move at the speed of light. And as part of the collective consciousness, they are tied into this vast network, infinite network of other spirits, and they interact with each other in a way that we can't even imagine. That's why he knows about your cholesterol. Well, I said blood pressure before, but he keeps hitting me with cholesterol. Blood pressure, cholesterol, you're not walking, you're not sleeping, and without intending to, you are, in a sense, working on suicide. And he is intervening to tell you not to do this. And he's bringing up a birthday of an uncle that, while he did not know in this world, he is with on the other side. And what's with you and pomegranates?
Pomegranate is one of his favorite fruits.
And there's the verifiable fact following the message. So I will leave that with you. And here's the thing. Grief is devastating. And losing a child, and obviously I don't have to tell this group that, but losing a child is the most painful and devastating loss of all. It feels like the world has been pulled out from under you, and it's very easy to not want to go on. But spirits are here to help us, to guide us, because they love us. And as hard as it is, some days maybe just getting out of bed and getting dressed is an accomplishment. So don't be hard on yourself, but take good care of yourself. And he's bringing you that message because he loves you.
Mark, this is
Thank you so
just to
much.
take
God-
care. Oh, goodness, Jessalyn, thank you for being on here. And I want to take care of you too. We are up right now at 17 minutes after the hour, and I know that this is exhausting for you. So maybe this should be the wrap up here, if that's possible. And I hate to do that because I don't want to sign off with you. But
Well, no, that I appreciate that. And for everybody, I hope to come back. I'm sure Elizabeth and Irene and I will talk about that. And we're all hoping that this COVID vaccine is going to work, because I am looking forward to speaking at the 2021 or 2022, depending on the vaccine, Helping Parents Heal National Convention. I'd also like to tell everyone, every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, and 4 p.m. Pacific, if you tune into my radio show, The Psychic and the Doc, I've teamed up with Dr. Pat Basili. She's a world famous behavioral psychologist and star of the Dr. Pat Show. Go to my website, evidenceofeternity.com, and I'll go to the calendar of events. And you can find out we're on every Thursday, and people can call in, and I do readings on air. And you get the benefit of Dr. Pat's uplifting insights. She's amazing. And so that's every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, please sign up for my newsletter and follow me on social media. And my books, Never Letting Go and Evidence of Eternity, are recommended by grief counselors and hospices worldwide. They're on audio now. And even if you feel you don't need them, you may know another shining light parent who could use the benefit of them. Please visit my website, evidenceofeternity.com. And you can find out about all that, plus booking a reading with me. Also, Helping Parents Heal members are entitled to a reduced fee for a one-on-one session with me. And so all that's at my website, evidenceofeternity.com. I'd like to close with another prayer. So, oh God, send forth your holy light upon all these people. Guide all our thoughts and words so that our whole lives will be pleasing to you. Stay with us in times of trial. Be close when we are weak in body and soul, and grant us the strength, courage, and grace to see the light in these times of darkness. Amen.
amen. Thank you so much. My goodness gracious, that was absolutely wonderful.
Just
We
amazing.
will have this available on YouTube for people to be able to watch. And I want to thank you for being here. Every time that you come, you always bring uplifting energy. We have so many thanks in the chat box. As a matter of fact, I might need to go ahead and just send that to you so that you can read everything. But everyone is just so appreciative of everything that you do for Helping Parents Heal. And again, I'm sorry about Rose and her son, but you did an incredible reading for her last time, and it was actually in the newsletter because She was so appreciative of that. So
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be of service. And
anyway,
Everyone
but
can unmute themselves to say.
yes,
thank you.
let's go ahead and allow everyone to unmute themselves and say thank you and goodbye.
You had a great
Thank you.
time.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Mark,
much.
always
It was
care.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias,
Thank you very much. everybody.
Thank you,
Bye,
Mark.
everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
Mark.
you.
Thank you,
You're
most
Mark,
welcome.
Elizabeth,
God bless
Irene.
you.
This is my
God bless all
daughter
of you.
as a giraffe. I'm sure you can't see her.
Oh, that's great.
Hard to-
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas to everyone.
Good to see you again, Mark.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Mark.
evening.
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you soon.
Gracias, Marc Anthony.
Let me cover all the bases for everyone. Have a Merry Ramahana Badi Dwali Kwanzmas.
Thank you. Perfect.
That's great. That was wonderful.
Namaste, Hare Krishna. God bless.
Namaste.
Thank you.
God bless you, Mark.
Thank